All right, very good. Welcome back, members of the jury. It's my understanding you've reached a verdict, and the foreperson hand the verdict form to the bailiff. Okay, very good. Madam Clerk,
Yes.
please publish the verdict.
In the Circuit Court of the 13th Judicial Circuit of the State of Florida, in and for Hillsborough County Criminal Justice Division, State of Florida versus Alicia Andrews, case number 24 CF 11996, Trial Division 1, verdict form. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1, the defendant is guilty of manslaughter, a lesser included offense. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 2, the defendant is not guilty. So say we all, dated this 31st day of October 2025, signed foreperson of the jury.
All right, thank you very much. Have a seat. Does either side wish for me to poll the jury?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Alicia Andrews' case just hit a snag. A whole bombshell just happened. Because remember when we reacted to this, and shout out to Taylor Umbridge, check out her channel. Remember this?
Courtroom that mattered, the judge, the jury, the prosecution, not so much, because it doesn't matter what it actually means. It's more about how they present it. But getting a jury and having a judge that would be willing to understand the nuances of the culture.
So let's talk about the jury. Are you able to share what the jury makeup was?
Yeah, so there were 2 Latino people on the jury. The rest were white.
And one of the Latino persons was white. Yeah, Latino.
Was white representing Latino. Yeah. Yes.
So after the jury was chosen, how did it make you feel going into day one or opening arguments? Once that was set.
I'll say while we were picking the jury, the ones that we had on our minds, the ones that we wanted to keep, if we kept a lot of the ones that we thought we would get or would have, we would have been okay. It'd have probably been split. But as we kept going through the jury selection process and the prosecution would strike some people that we wanted, some people of color and whatnot, at the end we realized when we looked at all the 12 that we ended up picking that we had basically an all-white jury. And we fought to have other people on the jury. We fought to have a Black woman on the jury. We fought to have some other people on the jury. But the prosecution, to get 10 strikes, peremptory strikes, which are just, you get to use these strikes for whatever reason, really. And they used them to get some of the people off. And we didn't have a whole bunch of, colored people, Black people, however you want to call it, Hispanic people on the jury to begin with, in the pool of individuals to begin with. So it's slim pickings, and then they have enough peremptory strikes to just get rid of everyone. So when we saw the makeup, it was I thought we was gonna have a little bit of a better shot, but we got to work with what we can work with, because even though a lot of the people were white, it was some of them were okay, meaning they were at least fair. And if we could get fair jurors to listen to the case, then we should be okay, is what our mindset was.
I still don't know if I want to go down there in December. Y'all let me know. I'll be honest. I'm very curious. Yeah. Well, it turns out Foolio's mother got a call last night, and she updated us, didn't she? Roll it. Alicia Andrews' sentencing has been delayed. She was scheduled to be sentenced on Monday, December 8th, after being found guilty of manslaughter. According to reports, the defense is seeking to have the justice in the case dismissed from sentencing Alicia. Then you can see this is Foolio's mom right here. She says, update, I received a call last night in regards to my son Foolio case about the sentencing that's to be held tomorrow in Tampa. Unfortunately, the defense has filed a last-minute motion to have the judge dismissed from sentencing Alicia Andrews. Now, it's left up to the appellate to decide if the judge is going to stay on the case to sentence her or appoint someone else. Fingers crossed. I want the judge to stay. Now, whether you were sitting here unbiased or you were sitting here with a bias, it really didn't matter, because we were outside looking in. We didn't know our actual thoughts. If you were one of those ones, if you can't hit that like button, let me know your comments right now. If you were one of the ones who were sitting up there typing in the chat, coming back and seeing what it was, if I thought the same thing you did, because the day that she had to verdict same day that she ended and rested her case. Her team had filed something that we didn't even know until afterwards. Take a look. The defendant buying through undersigned counsel pursuant to Florida Statute 38.10 and Florida Rule of Judicial Administration 2.330 hereby has filed this motion to disqualify presiding judge and in support of the states the following. Introduction. Defendant Alicia Andrews respectfully moves to disqualify the Honorable Michelle Cisco from presiding over this matter on grounds that her conduct and statements have created a well-founded fear that Ms. Andrews cannot receive a fair and impartial trial. Andrews stands accused of first-degree murder, conspiracy in connection with the alleged ambush killing of Jacksonville rapper Julio Foolio Jones. Probably should have put Charles in there, but that's fine. Throughout the proceedings, Judge Cisco exhibited overt hostility toward the defense, repeatedly interrupting counsel, refusing sidebars, and visibly prompting the prosecution during witness examinations. Moreover, her public assurances to the jury that it would receive the case for deliberation by a specific date demonstrate a predetermined, timeable, and consistent with judicial neutrality. These actions viewed cumulatively give rise to an objectively reasonable fear that Judge Cisco has abandoned her role as an impartial arbiter, requiring disqualification under Florida Rule of General Practice and Judicial Administration 2.330. Accusations of bias, unequal treatment, and unfairness, hostility or rudeness, calls for recusal and sanctions. This right here. We're just going to start at the top. The judge is a mess and literally cannot hide her bias. The judge is biased as F. Judge hates the defense. She's allowing the prosecution to do and say whatever they want. The judge's mind been made up. Defense should ask for a different judge. This is not a fair trial. The judge is rude. The judge is nasty toward the defense. Judge doesn't like the defense. She's laughing. This is not a fair trial. They need to file a motion against the judge. They're going to ask for an appeal because of the judge. Now, some of y'all will be like, bro, why? I'm telling y'all, bro, the lawyers, they all pay attention, bro. The breadth and consistency of these independent comments by viewers with no direct stake in the outcome underscore a public perception that Judge Cisco's conduct demonstrated partiality. See Exhibit A, public's reaction to Judge Cisco's behavior. Such perception, even if unintentional, erodes public confidence in the integrity and impartiality of the judiciary, warning recusal and renewed consideration of the proceedings to ensure fundamental fairness. Legal standard. Where a party feels the judge is presiding over his case cannot render a fair ruling, that party is permitted to have a new judge preside over the case. A motion to disqualify need only show that the party making it has a well-grounded fear that he will not receive a fair trial at the hands of the judge. So they're just going to go through and look at all type of case law and all that stuff. So we don't really have to do all that. That's where basically all this stuff happens. Now look. I think it's very important to point out something. And the majority of you who agree, it's because your logic is speaking. And the ones who will be pissed off and agree is because you're being more empathetic rather than sympathetic. If you think that she has something to do with Julio Foolio being killed, cool. If you think she didn't, cool. Everybody will agree on this point. Your case should not depend on how much you can rig the effing game, meaning the prosecution. When you go to jury duty, how it is presented to us in the public, let me know if y'all agree. They say you're going to be judged by a jury of your peers, right? And I give you the example of, I forget what his name is. Oh, I hate that I forgot his name right now. The young black man in Georgia who was jogging, took a step to look at some freaking construction that wasn't done, thinking to himself, this is a nice neighborhood. I wonder what this house is going to look like. No fences, no signs, no anything. Some neighbors were looking and was basically saying, we don't know if he's trying to steal or not. They say we've had previous thefts around the neighborhood. Actually, Citizens Reporting says there was no damn crime in that neighborhood at all. What ends up happening? The guy gets in his car. The observers watch him, the black guy, jogging down, and basically they try to confront him. Him being in a neighborhood and him growing up where he grew up, notices, bro, it's 3 white guys. and they barking and barking. So he thinks, man, my life is on the line. He takes off running. They corner him. They kill him. All of these guys get arrested. They get tried. They go to jail. Last name was Michaels and then the other guy, right? And what ends up happening is they get a jury of their peers. And they all get found guilty of sin because the evidence for the prosecution was everything. Why is that important? Because the evidence for this prosecution was trash. If you are a person who believes that Alicia Andrews did this, right? I'm going to take you at your word that you believe that because you've seen her on the cameras, right? All right, cool. But if that's what you're doing, can I interest you in this question right here? Why did we need a text message from almost 10 years ago about her being a high schooler texting a friend from high school about the person who is no longer living in the case? Not saying this golden nugget right here. She never said anything like that again to her friend in text message. If your evidence is good, that's all you need. You don't need to rig the damn system. You just don't. And the way that they're doing this shit, if it's not disturbing to you, at least think to yourself this. This judge 100% was biased. And I hope she does get a different judge. Because if that judge sentences her, she's going to get 15 years. For sure. She's going to get 10 to 15. When in all actuality, they found her on the lesser of the offenses. Meaning, they just found her guilty of something. But if you don't think that an all-white jury for this young lady was good enough, then let me ask you a question. Why did they strike off and knock off 10 people that the defense wanted? Y'all let me know your thoughts on this. I'll be curious to read this. Am I being wrong on this one? Am I being biased? Or what is it that we're all not seeing? If you are pro-prosecution, if you're anti-prosecution, what did I miss exactly? It had to be something I'm missing, right? Let me know your thoughts on this one, man. I'll be curious as hell to read this. But anyways, make sure y'all hit that like button, please, if you can. Or if you just want to go ahead and talk shit, hit that like button and comment your thoughts. Or if you want to win one of these, we're down to 60 people. We still growing. Don't worry about it. Everybody go subscribe who ain't seen this before. So don't worry about that one. Hit that subscribe button for sure. But we down to 60 people. Make sure you still in there. I don't want you people to sit up here and get pissed off once we get this shit away. And y'all be, oh, Ceddy Nash. Nah, I don't want to hear that. Click right here for the most recent video. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.